So welcome to Louisiana Gardening Family's Garden Chat series. Today is gonna be a good talk because, as I always tell you, gardening does relate to life itself. So I've been in deep thought about this particular tree. This is a grapefruit tree, and I watched this tree. Actually, I watched it die slowly. I watched it go through the process, and I guess in my stubbornness, I said, you're gonna grow. You don't have a choice but to grow. And if you don't grow, then you're just gonna die right there. And that tree, it tried all it could to hang on. From full of foliage to just, it was just dropping leaves so slowly over time. And me and Bevs did a garden tour video a few weeks back, if not maybe a month. And I think we passed by this tree, and I talked about taking it out. I watched the lead farmer video where he was moving. I think he moved some of his loquat trees, like the one right here behind us. It was in front of his house, and he moved it to the back because he said it didn't really like where it was. Or maybe that's the one that maybe it was in full sun, and he actually moved it to where it can get a little bit of shade, and it started doing better. But anyway, the idea behind watching that video, and I kept saying over and over, man, I'm going to get out there and move that tree. I'm going to move that tree. And I wouldn't do it at all. Too hot, didn't have the time. And I started putting it on the yard, which actually started opening my mind. And I was like, man, this is the spot where actually the tree came from. You can kind of see it right here. I said, man, it's like everything I put in that spot dies. Like I put about 3 trees right here, and surely they've all died. And then I planted, I'm probably gonna try to let you see that. I planted a plum tree, and I didn't take it out. And that thing, I'll show you at the end, that thing died. But this one in particular, I had some free time one day, and I think Bells was getting ready to leave. And I said, man, I'm gonna go out there and just put that thing up in a pot, because I see it's dying already. I'm gonna move it and plant something else there, because it's not gonna make it. It's dead. So I put this tree in this pot, and I started seeing, after about, I'm gonna say about 2.5, 3 weeks, it started throwing off leaves again. And you can look at that. And that's what spawned, you see, like a lot of it has died off. And that's what spawned this week's garden chat. Something spoke to me, like the whisper in the wind. And it said, it wasn't the tree, it was where the tree was planted. And of course, when I heard that, I wasn't thinking anything about gardening. Like when I get like those kind of revelations in the garden, my mind doesn't go anywhere around gardening. I started thinking about the world. I started thinking about black youth, inner city youth, trouble youth, white, Asian, Hispanic. Many times the problem is not the person, right? Because this was the same tree that was dying right here. And look, it's still in the same spot. Like I can take that tree, it still even got the hole right there, and put it right there, and it's still gonna grow. Why? Because it's not planted in that ground. So sometimes we have to be careful about where we are and what we're planted in, right? Our philosophy about life has to change. How do you think that people are so depressed, and you come out in your garden in the morning and you look around and you say, man, this is a beautiful day. and then somebody else comes outside and they're like, man, I hate living, I hate life, I hate this world. How is that possible? And I think that it's not the person, right? It's not the tree. It's just what the tree's been planted in. It's the soil it's been given over time. It's the nutrients that it's been given over time. So the same for a person. If you have someone in your life, someone in your family that doesn't seem to be on the right track in life, whether it be criminal or just lifestyle, many times you have to work on not the person, but you have to work on the environment. And that's why maybe our political structure is so important and all of those things, because we're constantly trying to work on the right environment for our kids. And sometimes that goes in the house, in the home. Sometimes we have to be really careful about the things that our kids are getting into them, into their bodies, into their minds, basically, because actually that's what they're being planted into. Their whole life and their life structure and their lifestyle is going to be planted into that soil that you've cultivated in your home. So you can actually watch a person die a slow death, like real slow, like just into depression, and you see that downward spiral that we talk about. Or you can go about not focusing so much on the person, because the tree is still the same tree. I didn't get a new tree, I just changed the environment, right? I just planted it in something different. So sometimes we have to take people and put them in better situations. Not saying that you can save everybody, but sometimes you have what somebody else might need, and you're not doing anything with it, right? I had this pot, I wasn't using it, and I could have just as easily left this thing in the ground and watched it die. But that one act of 2 minutes it took me to dig this thing up, drop it in a pot, water it, and go leave it to its own devices. I didn't do anything else. So it's not that we have to baby everything. I don't believe in that philosophy either, that we need to give people everything, give them a place to stay, give them food to eat, give them the water to drink, give them the clothes, give them the shoes. I'm not a proponent of that type of philosophy, that socialistic thinking. I believe that all we need to do is level the playing field. Is if you give them a chance, if you give people a chance in life, in your family, your kids, right? Likewise, you don't have to tough love them all the time. Hey, if you don't make it, that's on you. I brought you in this world. If you don't make it, that's on you. Sometimes it's not, the tough love isn't even what we need. Sometimes we just need to give our kids a chance, give them an opportunity, invest a little capital into their ideas, into that dream, and maybe you may start to see them wake up. And I'm telling you, just like watching this tree wake up, it does something to you. So I'm sure if it's your auntie, your uncle, your kid, your cousin, your niece, your nephew, when they begin to really sprout and become something beautiful, just like the joy I get out of seeing this tree every morning now this is the tree I come to check on all the time, since it's came back. Now this is the tree when I come out in the morning. All those other trees I'm like, I ain't worried about y'all, man, y'all tripping. This one wanted to do something. So I don't know, probably I'll try it again to plant it somewhere else, but not in this spot, because for some reason here and there has proven to be bad locations and bad environments for trees. So I'm not gonna plant any more trees here. So that's it for the garden chat. I need to get out of here because it's almost 10 minutes. So remember, it is not the tree, it's not the person some of the times. sometimes it's just where they're planted and what they're planted in. So thank you for watching, and as always, grow, grow, grow. Check out this dead plum tree that I should have took out. My bad. But I learned a lesson from that dead tree. And this one that was next door to it, its next door neighbor. That's where I learned the lesson at. It's not the tree, it's where it's planted. Peace.